Welcome back to part 2 in my special project today for Danny's Christmas event. In part 2 we're going to make the box to go with our lovely card. This is the card we designed in part 1 and this is the box that we're going to make in part 2. So to get us started we're going to need a piece of crumb cake card and this measures 19.5 centimetres by 28 centimetres. Okay, we're going to need to do some scoring. So for that I would recommend you using your trimmer. You can either use your trimmer or you can use your simply scored board. It's entirely up to you. So for this we're going to score on our long edge, so with the cardstock in our trimmer along with the top long edge at the top. We're going to score at 2 centimetres. Let me just put that down there a minute. Can't get it in. So we're going to line it up here at 2 centimetres and score. We're then going to move it along to 13 centimetres and score. Move it to 15 centimetres and score, and then move it along to 26 centimetres and score. Okay, so you've then got your your middle part, your edge panels, and then we're going to turn around and do some more scoring. So these score lines are quite simple, and for this I'm going to use the measurement over here just because I find it easier with small measurements. So with the short edge now in your trimmer at the top, line it up at 2 centimetres and score, and then turn it right the way round, so you've still got the long edge at your top but your scored panel is over here. Line it up at 2 centimetres and score, and that is all your scoring done. We're then going to need to do a little bit of cutting. Okay, so this is how we're going to turn this into a box. Before you do that you might just want to double check that your card sits nicely in one of those panelled areas. Okay, so mine is just ever so slightly bigger than my card, probably about ½ centimetre in total around the card. Okay, so let's pop that to one side, and then we're going to do some cutting. So along this bottom edge we're going to cut up to our first score line. We're going to leave this cut nice and straight, but then we're going to notch into that panel and notch out as well. Okay, this notching just helps you create a really nice finished article. Okay, so we're going to do the same here. We're going to notch in there, and then we're going to notch into all of this. Okay, so we're going to notch in like so, and there. Okay, we're going to leave this this cut line nice and straight, but this side we're going to notch in. Okay, this is going to be the top of our box, and then move along to this score line. We're going to not cut on that score line, we're going to cut at an angle like so, turn it round and cut at an angle like so. So what you have is the bottom now looking like that. We're going to turn it all the way round, and we're going to copy whatever it looks like on that side, we're going to copy down here. So that one will look like that, and then that corner will look like that. Okay, so just following again, we're going to notch in like so, notch in there, and then cut on that line. Okay, so we've got one very straight line, and then that little bit is an angle. Here we're going to cut on the line, and then we're going to notch in, and then here we're going to notch in like so and like so. So you've got two angled sections, and then down here we're going to notch in, turn it round and notch like so. Okay, so your box should now, or your piece of card should now look like this. The trick with doing any 3D item is to crease all your score lines really well with your bone folder. So let's go and do that right now. Only crease them one way, we don't need them to fold in different directions, so only do them one way. You want to try and do this on a flat surface if you can. And then we're going to fold our box over. Like so. So that's all nicely creased. So we can now add a little bit of glue. Okay, I'm going to use Seal Plus for this, just because it is my glue of choice. But you can also use something like a double-sided. I would avoid using wet glue if you can, just because it may slide around. So we're going to add some glue to these middle sections, like so. You can't really see the glue I'm adding, and we're going to add some here. So this is the top part of my box. Okay, and then we can fold things in. So what you're going to do is you're going to line up this straight edge here with this straight edge here. So this is where the notching in just helps you create a more polished look at the end. Okay, and then this bit is here, like so, and then that piece in like so. So you then have a box that looks like this. Okay, so you just tuck those bits inside. Your card can then sit inside your box, and then it closes. Okay, so we can now move on to decorate our box. Okay, so to decorate our box, you just need two pieces of card. You need card, first of all you need your piece of bedazzling card, and this measures 9.5 centimetres by 13.9 centimetres. And you can go ahead and stick that onto your box straight away. Okay. Like so, get that on there nice and straight. And then for this piece we're going to do a little bit of blending and a little bit of stamping. So I'm just going to bring back in my original piece of grid paper. This is what we used for the card. So I'm using my blending brush with some soft suede ink. I'm just going round the outside edge just to make that nice and so that's our bit of distressing around the edge. We're then going to do a little bit of stamping. So we're going to stamp the same design as what we have inside our cloche on our card. So we're going to stamp our houses in the centre, like so. So that's with soft suede. And then with crumb cake ink, we can stamp the inside of our houses. Remember to stamp off so you get a lighter tone of that crumb cake. Like so. We can add a little bit of colour to our trees. I know these trees are technically twigs, but it's still nice. And then using our blue blending brush, we can add just a little bit of colour to the sky. Now I'm just using the residue ink that was left from when we did the cart, like so. Okay, and then we've got that sentiment to stamp, and it says it's the most wonderful time of the year, and that's from the Cloche, classic Cloche stamp set. I'm going to stamp with soft suede ink, like so, and then we just need to attach that piece to our box. Like so, and then all that's left to do is to tie some linen thread around. So you're going to take a piece of linen thread, you're going to wrap it around and then we're going to tie that in. Not, you don't want it to be too loose, but you don't want it to be too tight either. Okay. And then you're going to take a little bit more linen thread, so about 30 centimetres. You're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to tie that. Oops. Hold on to both ends. Around to secure, and then cut all your ends down so they are the same length. Okay, and there you have your finished box with your Cloche shaker card inside. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the project. If you've got any questions, please just let me know. You can contact me at staceymarsh.co.uk. You can ask Danny, and don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, I'd love it if you subscribed. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.